Hello and welcome to level 2 of how to become fit in 2025. In this video, we're going to be planning the strategy and building out the journey here on how you're going to become fit. And the way we're going to do that is to build out your workout plan, your nutrition plan, and your schedule to do all of that so you can stay consistent, motivated, and be well on your way to become fit. Now, the reason that we have to actually build out a plan first is because we don't want to just come out there with no goal, with no direction to head, because then we're going to be wandering around aimlessly. Just like in a soccer game in FIFA, you don't just walk out there and start kicking the ball around thinking you're going to score because you're like that. You actually have to have a formation. You have tactics, you have a goal, you have a coach that's going to guide you and allow you to make the right plays in order to win the game. Building out this journey, this map, is going to give every step that you take some purpose and some direction. Overall, it's going to make your journey a lot faster and smoother. Okay, so let's get right into it. First of all, though, if you have not watched the first video of this series, I'd stop here, go back and watch that first, because you're going to need the information over there to make all of this make sense. From that first video series, in your Find Your Why, the part where we figure out, that ideal image of you, we're gonna take that image and use that to create this plan. For my example, I picked out an athletic body with muscles, slim, lean, and did I say athletic? Those things right there. You're gonna build your workout plan and your nutrition plan based on the ideal image that you want, okay? So for me, all of that, and for most people, honestly, this is gonna be kind of a one size fits all really, but tweak it how you like. First, we're gonna talk about the workout plan. How do we build the workout plan to achieve whatever our fitness goal is? There's 3 parts to the workout plan: strength, cardio, and recovery. For each different person with different goals, each of those steps is going to look a little bit different. We're gonna need those 3 steps for sure. So for me, strength. We need some muscles, we need some power, and that's going to happen through resistance training, okay? So that's gonna look like weightlifting, calisthenics, or just straight up resistance bands. Anything where it's putting resistance on your body, making it harder. You're either fighting gravity, you're fighting a heavy weight, or you're fighting some bands that want to pull back. Those things right there are going to help you build strength, which is ultimately going to help you build some muscle. For most people's fitness goals, some muscle is needed, okay? If you want a bigger, whatever it is that you want a bigger of.
What do you mean by that?
The way to get that bigger is to build some muscle right there. In the strength portion, you can pick whatever combination of things that you like out of what I just mentioned. And if you can look up more, perfect. Now, the second part of the workout plan is cardio. We're gonna need cardio to keep our heart healthy, to help burn those extra calories and just make the muscles that we got from the strength part a little more visible. Otherwise, you're just gonna look kind of fat and bulky, which maybe that's what you want. I don't know. Then you cut back the cardio compared to others. But for most people, you're gonna need some cardio. What cardio can look like is there's something called high intensity interval training, where you're going really intense workouts really quickly and you're sweating a lot. And then there's things you can do like running, you can do swimming, you can play different types of sports. There's a bunch of things you can do. I'm just giving you the framework. You can go look it up and fill it out how you like. You're gonna need something that gets your heart pumping and makes you sweat. And then the third part of this workout plan is the recovery. Because in the first 2 parts, the strength and the cardio, you're going to be using a lot of different body parts, putting a lot of impact and force on them. We're gonna need adequate time to recover that damage that you've done to your muscles so that they can rebuild stronger, recharge for your next intense session. Recovery is things like stretching, yoga, Pilates a little bit, foam rolling, hitting the hot tub, hitting the sauna, things of that nature. Anything that's kind of like more relaxing and gets your body to heal. It is, again, very important because you're taxing your body a lot. So you want to make sure it's getting all the rest that it needs in order to perform well in your next sessions. The workout plan part of this is figuring out what you want to do for strength, figuring out what you want to do for cardio, and what you want to do for recovery. Build that out how you like. And then a couple of tips that I have for this part of it is pick things that you actually like. Just because everybody and their mom on the internet is telling you that you got to go to the gym and weightlift doesn't mean you actually have to do that. Again, it's just strength, okay? So that could just be calisthenics at home, meaning you do push-ups, pull-ups, whatever you want at home, or getting resistance bands to do those different types of workouts. You just kind of got to figure out what will fit your lifestyle and your personality. Again, the framework is just pick the strength, pick the cardio. For me, I like to do a mix of weight training and calisthenics just because of my lifestyle. And then for cardio, I absolutely hate running on the treadmill, but I love to jump rope and I love to play a bunch of different sports. So I'm in soccer, basketball, tennis, whatever gets me moving, I'm there. And that's my cardio. And then for recovery, I like doing yoga, I like to stretch, I like to foam roll, and I like to hit the spa. So you just gotta figure out what works for you. Because when you like it, then that means you're more willing to do it. There's less friction to start the activity if you actually already like it. That's just part of working smart and making this a sustainable journey for your lifestyle and for your personality. Moving on to the nutrition plan. And depending on what your fitness goals are, sometimes this is actually the most important part. Why is nutrition important? Because number one, it is the energy source to fuel all of that stuff that we're doing in the workout part. Number two is because your physique is defined by what you eat. We've all heard the saying, you are what you eat, and that is the motto here. If you're looking to become fit, then you have to eat in a fit manner. If you want to become fat, then you eat in a fat manner. You are what you eat, man, so that's why nutrition is very important. You can do all the workouts you want, you can burn all the calories you want, but if you're eating a bunch of junk, it's not going to work out in the long run. How do we build a nutrition plan? And we're keeping things high level here. Again, just like the workout plan, your nutrition plan needs to align to your goals. If your goal, let's say, is to gain a bunch of size and a bunch of muscle, you're going to need to eat in what's called a caloric surplus, a calorie surplus. Okay, that means you're eating more calories than you're burning, because then those extra calories will translate into more size, more meat on your body. Because of that, we're going to have to prioritize a lot of protein, because you don't want to just eat a bunch of calories of fat and junk, because then that's just going to put fat into your body and turn you into a piece of junk. You're going to want some high quality lean proteins, because then that's what you'll become, and it's just much healthier. Now let's say your goal is to lose weight, all right? Then you don't actually want to be eating in a caloric surplus. You want to eat in a caloric deficit, which means however many calories you're burning a day, you're eating less than that, so that the difference there is what you're slowly shaving off of your body. Okay, that is the way that we lose fat, eating less calories than we are burning. Okay, so we can burn more fat. In this case, you still want to prioritize protein, but making sure that your meals are more or less quite balanced so that you're still getting all the nutrients. Now, what I like to do is I like to plan my meals, and I would recommend that you do the same thing, because even though it's a little piece of work, it's actually just front loading the work and making the rest of the journey a little bit easier. How do we plan our meals? We want to make them simple and repeatable. I'm going to repeat that again. Make it simple and repeatable, because when you keep it simple, it's easy to do. And when it's repeatable, you can just keep doing it. That's what we're looking for here when it comes to fitness and consistency. Something that you can just do over and over easily. And then we're going to have to figure out what you like. Okay, you got to sit down and think of this yourself, but these 4 categories right here: proteins, carbs, fats, veggies. Proteins, carbs, fats, veggies. I refuse to believe that anyone is allergic to healthy food, because what healthy food means is just whole, single ingredient, nutritious foods. If you like steak, that just means you like beef. If you like chicken wings, that means you like chicken. What we're trying to avoid here is things like processed food, Pop-Tarts. Man, I couldn't even tell you what, because I don't even eat these things, so I can't name them off my head, but we're sticking to whole, single ingredient, nutritious foods. Things that grow in nature is what we're trying to eat, whether it's a plant or an animal. Figure out what proteins you like. Make sure they're lean proteins. You can look it up online. Whatever proteins you like, I don't know. Carbs, things like grains, rice, potatoes, pasta. And then for fats, honestly, all I really know is like nuts and avocados, but there's probably more. And then veggies. That's a whole world of things that you could eat. In all those categories, figure out something that you like. Figure out many things that you like in each category so that we can keep a variety in our diet. For part of the nutrition plan, I would also just say prep your foods. You can look up things like how to meal prep, but I would just stick to a simple time-saving thing of batch cooking your proteins, pre-chopping your veggies, planning out your snacks. This is going to help you reduce decision fatigue, so you don't have to think about it too much. It's just, hey, I have a bunch of chicken and beef ready. I'll eat that. It's healthy and it hits my nutrition goals. Veggies just take forever to chop and prep, so do that ahead of time. Make cooking easier for yourself. Planning snacks. When you plan out your snacks or you buy groceries strategically so that you don't have junk in the house, then you're less likely to eat it. If you're only putting healthy things in the house, then you're going to be eating healthy. Some tips here when it comes to the meal plan is do not aim for perfection. You want to just aim for consistency, because consistency is key here on how we want to do things over the long term. When you aim for perfection, it's going to get tough on your mind and on your body, and just overall make it a little bit harder for yourself. If you just aim to be consistent, then we're going to be playing this for a longer period of time. I would advise you not to just completely do a 180 on your diet and cut out all bad things and just totally flip things around, because that in itself is unsustainable sustainable. And when people do that, they just revert to default factory settings. Avoid that. We want to introduce things slowly. That's why we pick foods that we already know that we like. You can still reward yourself with those unhealthy snacks every once in a while, but keep it in moderation. Overall here, my point is that we're trying to make this nutrition more of a lifestyle rather than a punishment. A lifestyle, meaning you can do this for life. It's not just a few months and it's not just 2025. We're trying to build a habit to make this a long-term thing. When it comes to playing the game a little bit smarter, we also have to schedule things. That might just seem kind of extra, but why do we want to do this? Because it ensures that we're going to be staying consistent when you know when and where you're going to be doing a certain thing. For most people, life gets busy, gets in the way. So if it's just in the back of your mind, like, oh, I'm going to work out, or oh, I'll try to eat healthy today, it might not happen. But when you plan it out into your schedule, then it's way more likely to happen. Another thing, just like before, it reduces decision fatigue. We want to avoid those should I work out today moments or what should I eat today moments. We don't want to spend our energy and mental thinking about that. We should already just pre-decide that for ourselves, create the process, and then just stick to the process. My advice on this is to block your workout times into your calendar as if it was a meeting or a class that you have to go to. So most people are not skipping class. If there's a class at this time, they're going, or if they have a meeting at work at this time, then they're going. The same thing needs to be done for yourself on your fitness journey, right? If you tell yourself, hey, 4 o'clock to 4:30, I'm going on a walk. That's like your fitness class, so you have to go to that thing. That's how you want to treat it. Block out these times. Block out time to go to your groceries, time to cook your food, time to work out, time to rest, time to do cardio, etc. All of those things that we talked about, you need to plan that into your schedule wherever it fits. And then honestly, like scheduling things is pretty straightforward. You just get it into your schedule. But I do have some tips on this. This kind of relates to just goal making in general. You want to start small. A lot of people, when they first start their fitness journey, they're going to go, oh, I got to work out like 3 hours a day. That is not what I want you to do. I'd actually urge you to just start more at like 20 to 30 minutes per session. When that gets easy and then you see that it's actually fitting well into your life, then we'll ramp it up. But for right now, just start small. Another thing is to plan for flexibility. Life just gets busy. We want to keep this flexible. Again, we're not aiming for perfection. We're just doing for this for consistency. When things are flexible and they can be moved around and tweaked a little bit, that allows you an easier time to be more consistent. Along with flexibility, you should kind of have a backup plan. When it comes to your workout schedule, when it comes to your nutrition, sometimes life gets really busy and you just can't do the things that you originally envisioned. That's why you should have what I call a minimum backup plan, which is like on the most terrible of days when you can barely do anything and you can only spare 1 or 2 minutes, what's the backup plan? Just so that we can stay, again, consistent. Rather than like if you were planning to work out 30 minutes that day and you couldn't get that done, maybe it's just dropping down and doing 20 push-ups, or maybe it's just a 5-minute walk. Doing any small little thing where it's like you can tell yourself in your mind that you did something that day, that's what we're looking for here in terms of flexibility and a backup plan. Another thing is that I would batch habits or habit pairing, as we call it. If you've read anything about trying to achieve your goals, creating a habit, sticking to a habit, which is like all this really is, there's a tactic called habit pairing. You take something that you already are doing, such as let's say you eat breakfast every day, or you eat dinner every day, you brush your teeth every day, something you do every day already, and you batch your new habit, you stack it on top of that. I think it's called habit stacking. But you stack that new habit on top of this so that, you know, they're a battery pack and they go together and it just introduces that into your life. Maybe it's every day after I brush my teeth, I'm gonna go on a 10-minute walk. Boom, that's a habit stack. Every Sunday after I go to church, then I'm gonna go to the groceries, I'm gonna meal prep afterwards. That's a habit stack. / another thing, which is planning your habit, picking a specific time and place that you're gonna do these things. This is all nothing more than just creating and sticking to a habit. Now, one more tip about the scheduling part of this, and again, it's just part of creating a habit, trying to achieve your goals. The reason we want to think about the schedule too is because you have a busy life that I don't know about. Again, when other influencers are telling you like their day in a life and fitness takes up 8 hours of it, I know that you don't have time for that. We have to build something that works for you. If you look at your whole calendar, your whole schedule, and you know you can only afford 3 days out of the week to commit to this, then, you know, we need to work strategically within that, where it's like, can we break up those 3 days and spread it throughout the week? So it's not just 3 days in a row and then you're off 4, because that's gonna kind of suck, but maybe that's what you have to do. I don't know. Basically, work within your schedule, all right? We're trying to turn your lifestyle around so that's a little more fitness and health oriented, and you want to be able to, again, fit this into your life. Whatever it is, even if it's small, just try to get it in there. You do not need to be reaching for what others are doing, right? Just do what works for you, and we're gonna make the best of that, okay? So for me, I'm able to at least do 4 to 5 days a week where I can work out or focus on prepping my nutrition. Whatever works for you, do that. I know that was a long one. It's important to plan all of this out, know what you need to do. When they say trust the process, right here, we're building out the process that you're gonna go through so that, you know, you have trust in it and that you can stick to it. Level 2 is done. You have your why and you have basically your how. How are you gonna do this? What are you gonna do? This right here is giving you the foundation in order to be consistent and stay progressing. Now that we're done with the planning portion of it, it's time to actually prepare. That was a lot that I just threw at you, so we need to do all the right things to prepare mentally and prep physically for all of this. The next video is the prep video. We're going to be getting you all the right tools and resources and the mindset going forward so that you can be successful. I'm most looking forward to telling you about how to develop an iron mindset that's going to keep you strong and able to weather the storm ahead. I'll see you over there. Level 3, how to prep for the journey.